Hey everyone, welcome to the Author Spotlight. I'm your host, Cynthia Martin, as well as your authorhub.com. We want to welcome today our author, Ella Jackson, who is the author of The Heart of Dignity, and she's going to talk to us about her writing style and about the process of writing and about her great book. I'm looking forward to it. So Ella, welcome to the program today, and tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about your book.
My name is Ella Jean Jackson. I'm from Tylertown, Mississippi. At the moment, I reside in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. My I have two sons, 41 and 32. And I about my book. My book is like a motivation book. And what inspired me to write my book? Many things have inspired me to write my book. Okay. There is a saying that everyone's story matters.
Yeah.
My personally held truths, desire, motivations, and a cumulative experience that defines my life are all important, not only to myself, but to share in what it means to be a human being in the time and place we live.
Yeah.
Sharing my story, rather my own or that of someone else, or providing perspective through a work of fiction is extremely powerful thing.
Yeah.
Think about what it would be like to lose the ability to speak or the ability to speak or to hear, as if the very senses that give you the ability to live or cease to function, that quit writing. That is what it would be like to be muted. It is not so much what inspires me to write, but rather what part of me do I have to get out through writing. What do I feel compelled to share?
I just wanted to mention, because before you get too far along, I'm amazed that you have a son that's 41 and 32. You don't, I mean, I don't like to just give compliments to give compliments. You certainly don't look like you're old enough to have a 41-year-old child. You really don't.
I'm 59
so you look good.
59 years
I love
old.
it. So
Yep.
I'm sorry, I interrupted your story about your book. So I appreciate, your thought that the book comes out of your whole life. It isn't just something that you sat down and you thought up of a story and you wrote it out. It's the accumulation of everything that you believe and everything that you've lived. So how did you come up with the title?
I came up with the title because I thought about like it blended in what I was talking about, like the trials and tribulations, to motivate other folks so it could say, oh, this woman I want to be like her. So I put the heart because I give my heart out to folks, and dignity. I never lose my dignity, no matter how people treat me, how people talk to me, or what they say to me. So that's why I put them two titles in one, and I had to think about a title for my book, and I gave it to my book.
Okay. So that makes sense. So let's talk a little bit about that. Every day we get an opportunity to be treated and talked to in a way that we don't necessarily think is the right way. And what I think I hear you saying is that you speak to people in the manner in which you would want them to speak to you. I mean, to me, that's a common decency, but unfortunately, we don't see that often.
No, you have to give respect to anybody. You have, and sometimes when people come at you like a lot of energy, you have to be humble about everything in every job, for example, school, whatever the criteria is, you have to have respect of anybody. If you want to be respected, you give them respect. So that's why I stay humble in everything I do, because I have a lot of things that I'm doing now.
I agree. I think that's a very healthy way to live, first off, for ourselves, because if we live that way, then we're not all stressed out and, we're not dealing with high blood pressure. It's a healthy way to live. It's an emotionally healthy way to live because we're not on this big roller coaster all the time. And one of the things that I've seen, and I learned over time. I can't say I always practice it, but it's the goal is that when people, I know how else to say it, but treat you ugly, right? Because I've had people treat me ugly, and I could
Yes.
just be ugly back. But sometimes I try, and I'm pretty successful. Every once in a while, it gets past this. But I always think, I wonder that person must be really hurting on the inside if they're being this cranky on the outside. They're not wanting anyone to get close to them because of all the pain, must be because of all the pain on the inside. I try to remember that in my mind and come
Mhm.
back in a loving way rather than respond in the manner which they were responded to me. Sometimes I
Yeah,
think people don't realize how they're being heard.
that's right.
They only hear what someone says to them, but they don't hear what they're how they sound on the other side.
That's right.
You
That's
agree?
right.
You agree? I remember someone said to me many years ago that you're just a very hard woman, or you're very angry, or those are two of the things. And I was trying to think what the other one was because it's been so long. I don't remember what they were. But I remember thinking, if you think I'm harsh, oh, that's what it was. I was harsh. If you think I'm harsh, you should hear what's on the inside of me of what I'm holding myself back from. Now, that
Yes.
didn't give me the right to be harsh, but I
Mhm.
was leveling from the inside of me what I felt, and my response was much less than I felt. It was still ugly. I couldn't see that because all I could see is all the pain on the inside. And
Yes,
that's sometimes hard to see. Go ahead.
you're right. And it's like I do for the homeless.
Oh, wow.
They give me donations and stuff, clothes and stuff like that, and I go out and feed them. Um, some folks will tell me, "Why you give them hugs?" I took pictures. I got plenty of pictures of the homeless people that I do. White, black, it doesn't matter. They
Right.
love me. They be looking for me. And I was in the newspaper also feeding the homeless during Christmas
Hmm.
of last year.
Yeah. And some people have an idea that because some of them choose to be homeless, and that is true. We've done some street ministry, and that's what they choose to do. I've had people on the streets tell me, "You worry about me more than I worry about me. I'm fine out here. I like my lifestyle." And you're like, okay, because
Yes.
we always think that they're all down on their luck, and a lot of them are, but there are some that choose to. But it doesn't matter what choice they make. I still need to respond to them as a human being and be kind.
Yeah.
They've made a choice that I haven't made, but that doesn't make me better. It just makes me different, right?
Right.
So tell us about your book and how long when you decided to write it, and a little bit about that process, and what the book has inside of it. What could someone look forward to if they was to get your book?
It took for my book is just like I addressed the heart of dignity. It took me 10 years. I started in 2006. So it took me 10 years to write it. I had a publisher was addressing to me that I only had like 30 days. I did it within a week and finished it. And once they said congratulations from the different parts of play, they say I am so inspired of your book.
Mm-hmm.
So I wound up writing the book. I was writing it on a paper, wrote everything on a paper. And once I wrote it on a paper, I sat down on my laptop and started typing and put it on a disk drive and sent it my manuscript to the disk drive and the manuscript to the publisher. And they wind up taking over from there. And they love my book. And the inside of the book, like the type, like the mat, like my book, it has a mask with a face on it with a hand. It's not what's on out the outside of the book, is what's inside of the book. Um, I've been through trials and tribulations and motivates other folks to say, "Oh wow." For example, I was raped at the age of 16 and I was a virgin.
I'm so
My
sorry.
brother got killed when I was 14 years old.
Mm.
I lost my home in 2019. I ain't got that in there, but that's a part of
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Um, two trees fell on my house. One was in the bed with me, electric water on the floor, fire in the front of my house, transformer leak. They didn't even know how I was going to get, but God did. Windows wouldn't even open up, alarm system going off. So with that done and said, my brother got killed execution style when I was like 14 years old.
Mm.
Um, I was, I know that he got killed. When I went by my sister-in-law house, I saw the next day she wanted to go get some clothes, but I didn't put too much of that in there. But my third book is wonderful. But
Mhm.
this book here, The Heart of Dignity, it is awesome also. Um she he was his clothes, his shoes, his everything, water on the floor and everything. She told me her shut the door, but she never knew I went in there. So it had to be something that dealing with everything that was going on. So somebody had set him up and killed him.
Oh,
And so I've been through so much trials and tribulations. So instead of me just holding all that in me for a long time, I put it in my book so I can get rid of it. So that's why it motivates other folks and they'll read it. Even the newscaster, Daily Star, they came to my home, listened to my story, they cried. They were
mm,
so amazed.
wow.
And they say this is an awesome book, and if they just read it, it is good. And I'm not just saying it because I wrote it, but it's awesome. And once they read it, say, man, that motivates other folks to say, well, wow, if she could be that strong, I could be strong too. So
Right.
that's why I am like I am today, and I
Yeah.
thank God for everything.
Yeah. So it sounds like, so much you said there that you've been through so many trials and tribulations. So, I mean, it's something out of you've lived. So you're not giving advice out of something that you've read about. This is something that you've lived and you've had the experience. And I'm so sorry to hear of all those horrible things that
Yeah,
happened
it's
to
about to
you
go
when
in
you
a
were
movie
young.
also, not to cut you off.
No, no, that's okay.
It's,
I go ahead and tell me what you were going to say.
it's about to go into a movie also.
Wow. That's
I already
incredible.
screenplay.
It's incredible. And another thing I'll say when I talk to authors, because it's true, because my first book that I wrote, it was actually very healing for me to write it out. And I think that that's to release exactly what you said. I appreciate you sharing that. Is that
Mm.
when we hold things in, it can become such a problem for us. And when we release it, whether through writing or some way, some sort of creative escape, whether it's painting or some sort of expression,
Mhm.
that's good. We don't want to do evil expression, but we can find healing in that place because when we keep all that bottled up, it really works against us. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that. So is the book a workbook form? Is it stories? How long of a book is it?
it's 28 pages.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
they
so,
took out stuff. My
uh,
publisher took out some papers, some stuff that out of my manuscript. They left some out, but that's okay. But
mhm,
it's 28 pages, so it's deep.
mhm. And you can find this book. Where can you get the book? Let's talk about how you got the book out to the market.
Okay, I did it myself with no fees or anything, and I can help other folks that wants me to help them with their book to show them how to get it out there. I went to Barnes and Noble first, and I said, how you doing? My name is Ella Jackson. I'm the author of The Heart of Dignity. Your corporate office addressed to me that can you put my book in your store? And they said, well, here. They gave me the email, and typed it in, typed my ISBN number in there, and it was in there. Went to Walmart,
Wow.
did routine. You keep doing it. Then
Yeah.
for the libraries, I said, "How you doing? My name is Ella Jackson. I'm the author of Heart and the Heart of Dignity." And I said, corporate office said, address to me, can you put my book on the shelves? Went there, I got my book out the bookstore, and it was there. So I
That's
knew it was
amazing.
there. So
Good
that's what
for
I did.
you.
You
Good for
usually
you.
pay a lot of money for to do that, but I don't mind helping other authors that wants that. So you go and speak. You have to put your book out there yourself sometimes if you don't want to pay too much, a lot of money just paying other folks.
Right.
So that's
Well,
what I
you
did.
have your book though on Amazon as well. Is that right?
They had Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, Amazon, Walmart is about to be in Exxon gas stations. It's about to be in Hobby Lobby.
Wow.
Is on its way to New Orleans at a new bookstore. They just opened up this bookstore, and the lady said, I just want you to bring me some strawberry whiskey. I said, you got that.
You got it. I'll do it. Let's get the book in there. I
Yeah,
love it.
so it's gonna be in
Oh,
the name of the bookstore on Religion Fields, 1024 Religion Fields. Is gonna be in that store also.
wow. So how did you get it into? I've never heard of someone being able to put something into Hobby Lobby. How were you able to do that?
Oh, they got the chores. It got a CHAOES. I think it's a chores. It's like on the book where the book's at. You see the
Okay.
name on there, and you get that name.
Chosen books.
Yeah, choices. I think it's choices. I'm not sure,
Oh, okay.
but
Choices. Okay.
yeah. So you go ahead on and you find that website, and then you get the phone number to where the website at, and you address to them about how you doing. Like I told, address to you, say the manager at Hobby Lobby or Exxon gave me this information, and they want my book in their stores. So you have
Okay.
to rephrase that one besides putting the other stuff in the other stores like Barnes and Noble or Books a Million. So that's how you address yourself, say corporate, and
Hmm.
then for Hobby Lobby, you say, well, the manager at Hobby Lobby gave me your information, and they want my book in their stores.
That
So
is, I'm just really intrigued. I've never run into an author that has done all the footwork. That
I
is
did
so
all my
impressive.
stuff.
That is
Yes.
so impressive. You
And
must
I
have been
don't mind
very
helping
busy.
nobody else, because if they help me, I don't mind helping them.
Yeah.
If they need any help, I wouldn't mind like telling them how to get their stuff in there. And you
Yeah.
just wait for the funds, wait for whatever, because God, might not be right then and there, but it's always on time.
Yeah. Just talking to you, Ella, is a very, very encouraging because it is true. You just
Yes.
get up every day and do what's in front of you to do, right? And
And
keep
let
going.
God and let go. Let go
Yeah,
and let go.
exactly. Exactly. So you
Mhm.
mentioned is this your only book? You mentioned something
No,
about a
man.
next book. How many books do
I
you
had
have?
I have two books out, but Christina, it was one of them, and I took it off the market because they it was like they was reading the whole book
Hmm.
instead of reading some other part of the book. They read the whole book. But the second book is The Heart of Dignity. That's the book that's really going out. Everybody
Hmm.
buying it. I have to buy some books, and see, this what you do. Like for example, Amazon, like for example, you order your books from your book publisher.
Hmm.
You go out there, like events, like for example, you could go like Walmart, you say, can I sell my books here? You could sell them for $10. If they're 16 something on Amazon, you could sell it for $10. So you making money. You order your books, you sell them yourself, and you make some money too.
Right.
Why is on the market trying to sell it on the website? You can sell it like that also.
Hmm.
So that's how you get your money. You make your money instead of them just the books just sitting there on Amazon and stuff like that, Barnes and Noble. You can get it out like that. So buy your book, because as a publisher, you know how they do the wholesale stuff, and you go from
Yeah.
there.
So I understand that we ask a lot, is the book on Amazon? Everybody can find everything on
It's on
Amazon. But
Amazon.
one
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I think about Amazon, it's like a drop in this great big ocean, and it's not always, unless someone goes there looking for it, it doesn't
Yes.
jump out. Now, if I go over to Walmart or I go down to Barnes and Nobles and I'm just walking through the shelves, I see a book and it attracts me and I buy it. But I didn't go in there with that name in mind. And that's the bad part about going to Amazon, is you have to know the name of the book that you want instead of
Yes.
just shopping by subject, or like, because I'll go to this section and I'll look through the books and figure out which one looks the best. But that's a little harder to do on Amazon for sure. So I
Yes.
the what a great idea, to actually go into the different places. And when I talk to other authors, that's one of the things that I say, that writing a book it's really a lot of work. It takes a lot of
Yes.
discipline. And then when
Yes.
you get done, you think you're done, but now the job increases, because no matter whether you have it self-published or if you have it with a publisher, you have to do
Uh-huh.
your own book promotion.
You're
Even if
right.
you have it published with someone else, you have to do your own book promotion.
Yes,
So it's
ma'am.
like the work never ends when you're an author.
No,
You want to keep
never.
your work out there.
Yes, but then in order for to do that, that's why I'm saying you can buy your own books, you can sell your own books. If you're not making no money, why not make no money? You did all this work mentality. You gotta brainstorm, you gotta edit, you gotta put them in pen names, you gotta do different things. I did all this myself.
Yeah.
So to help other people, they could get it out there.
Mhm.
Buy some of your books, you
Yeah.
go to events, you be going to events. How you doing? You know how to speak as a speaker.
Mhm.
Tell them your name, your book, and if they want to hear a little bit about it, they're gonna buy it. Or
Mhm.
unless, for example, you go say like I'm going selling my book. I get gifts. I put little pennies, dimes, and nickels, and some candy in a little jar. They like basketball. They like football. So I
Mhm.
get jars with football on it,
Mhm.
basketball on it. Or I might have a gift candle. Some people like candles. You get this gift, you buy my book. Buy my book, you get a gift.
Yeah. What a great idea. You must have promotional gifting or marketing in you somehow.
Yes,
It's a natural gift, apparently, because
yes.
something that wouldn't occur to me
Mm-hmm.
or maybe to some other things just seems to roll out of you. That's so awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so, what
Try.
other venues have you taken your book to? You got it in Walmart, you're getting it in the Exxon stores. I'm trying to remember. I wrote some things down. I was pretty, the
Um,
choice
hobby,
books.
hobby,
I'm sorry,
hobby.
Hobby Lobby. Wow.
Mm.
Those are all great distributors of books.
And
And
it's all in every book. Is in a meat bookstore, is in Ponchatoula bookstore, and is in Hammond bookstore.
wow, that's amazing. And so you're talking to people about the book afterwards, and they're all loving it. Is that right? It's inspiring
Yes, and
them.
I have pictures to show examples of certain things that happen towards that give the story of the book. On a
Mhm.
poster, you could do that, like do a
Yeah,
poster, and
yeah.
they'd be looking at the poster, and I sold one time 100 books. Then I just sold out a whole lot of. I just sold out. I gotta order some more books.
Wow. How did you sell 100 books? That's an intriguing story.
I was just sitting there and they said, "Ooh, that's an interesting book." I said, "Yes, it is." And say, "You the author?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. I have a picture of me right there." And they said, "Ooh, can I get your autograph?" So I just sit there and sell it. It took me like at least an hour. But
Now, where were
everybody,
you?
I was at Walgreens.
Oh,
I sat
wow.
there at Walgreens. You could ask the manager and say, "Okay, how you doing? I'm an author. Is it all right if I come and set my table here?" And she said, "Sure." I set my stuff up there. I had my little gifts, at least 50 gifts, and then the rest of them they'll buy the books. ten
Wow.
dollars they wouldn't mind buying it. Because if you go $20, if you have a big thick book, yeah, it should be about probably 20.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes if you want to just make some money to make for your book because you're making a profit, you go ahead on and sell it for $10.
Yeah. What a
Mm,
great idea.
yes,
Yeah, my mind is totally blown. I've never
yes,
talked to an author that has actually went out and put their legs to it other than putting their book on Amazon, or if they had some
yes,
sort of a job that they sell their books at their job, something of that
yes.
nature. So, wow,
Mhm.
what a great idea. Um, and so the same way you got a hold of Choice Books is you got their number somehow from a
Yeah,
gas
I go
station?
to you can not to cut you off. You can go to Google, and when you go to Google, you look the information up. Say I want choices or choice
Mhm.
phone number, and you get
Mhm.
their number, and then they're gonna show you the address and all that, and you could call them. And just like I said, you put it out there. How you
Yeah.
doing? My name is such. This is my book. I would appreciate if Exxon addressed to me, one of the managers of several stores or whatever had addressed that, can I put my book in their stores? They gave me this information to call you also. I want to know what the criteria is, what I have to do in order to get my books in the stores. That's
Wow.
how you do it.
I'm
And you
telling
get it
you.
in and
Yeah,
and you
I'm
get it. Yeah.
amazed. Yeah. That so when you apparently I mean this very respectfully, you have no fear It sounds like you
No.
have no fear. I know when I wrote my first book, I was a little shy. I think it's because I put my whole life in it. And then I was
Hmm.
a little, you get very or I did. I was very intimidated about letting someone
Yeah.
see,
Don't.
and I wow, that is really great. And
And
so
you support each author. If
mhm,
you if I if you text me or whatever your information for your book, I support you.
yeah.
And my book is on all the bookstores, so I don't mind supporting you. But you go do that idea what I address to you, and I promise you it gonna work. And you're gonna say, "Oh my God, that's awesome." Nobody knows unless they talk to a real author that knows what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's true. And you want to talk to someone who's done it. When
Ye-
I talk to somebody and I'll say, when you have an issue or a problem in your life, you want to talk to somebody who has had that problem and gotten out
Yes,
successfully. When you want to do something new, you don't want to talk to somebody who thinks it's a good idea, but they never did it. You want to talk to somebody who's actually put legs to it and
yeah,
actually did this book.
you're
So
right. And they might talk to you, address to you. They might say a little, like for example, you ask questions or whatever. They'll say 1 sentence, 2 sentences, that's it.
yeah.
So you have to get it out there.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the title, "The Heart of Dignity," and the content of the book. Talk about um, why it's so important to give each person dignity, and how would you define dignity?
Dignity, I find that everybody has to have dignity of everything they do, anything they say, how they treat people, and who you want to be. So if you don't have no kind of dignity for yourself, well, that means that someone else ain't gonna give you dignity. So you
Mm,
have to give dignity and respect to everybody, anybody. It don't matter what color, what culture, whatever. You have to give that dignity to everybody. So dignity is strong for to have dignity for who you are, the
yeah,
person inside and the person outside.
yeah. Um, it's important to be I mean, there's so much more than kindness, but just kindness. And there was a time in my life many years ago when I was so beaten down that I didn't feel like I had any dignity. And it was in a very destructive relationship,
Yeah.
and it was a lie that I had taken, that I didn't have any value. But there are so many people out in the world today that believe that lie, that they don't have dignity, that their life is not valuable, and it's not the truth. They are all valuable. Every person has a value and something to give to everyone. I believe that every person has something to give to someone else. And it's
Yes,
such a joy to meet someone who thinks the same thing as well. Yeah,
yes.
that's really fabulous. So what are your plans
Mhm.
for the future, Ella?
My plans for the future is when I retire, I want to just relax. Oh, and I'm also trying to get my 501, my LLC. Oh yeah, I did graduated from Dillard University with a BS in nursing, but I didn't take my state board for my RN in 2005 because my dad was dying of colon cancer. So that
Mm,
was in 2005. 2011, I have an MBA in business administration. Nobody hires me, but I have to go out of town to get that. So now I do CNA because CNA always work. I'm getting older. I don't need to do all that. But I'm about to open up. I'm about to try to get two business in Appaloosa. I'm looking at that. I'm just waiting on the lady to call me so I can do my 501, my LLC, so
yeah,
I can help others. Like for example, a restaurant, help feed the homeless, sell
mhm,
my books in there. I could do whatever I want to
yeah,
help other people because I know where I came from. I
yeah.
never forget from where I came from.
Yeah. Sounds like you got a lot of energy as well. And I do just think it's important that we remember where we came from, because,
Yes,
if we don't, why are we have to help people from where we
yes,
came from. And somehow we run into, I believe it's God, that he brings people into our lives that are walking in the path that we walked in, maybe
yes.
yesterday, maybe 5 years ago, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can extend our hand. That's why it's so important that every person has value, because every person has walked through something and they have a gift to give someone else, I believe.
Yes.
Exactly so. So do you have another book in you think?
Oh yeah, I have another book coming up, but I'm just starting on it. So it's Grace in the Storm, Living Proof.
Oh, I
I
like
have,
that title
have
too.
someone
Yeah.
I have someone drawing the poster picture for me. So
You
by
have
the time I go to my other job, they will I will see the poster probably tomorrow. God spell life.
that is a great, you have a gift for titles that
Yes.
gives there's a great imagery when you give the name of your title. So that's very exciting. So I just want to say, because we're about out of time, Ella, is there anything that you want to say to the audience, or any kind of encouragement or any word of motivation that you'd like to speak to the audience before we close out today?
Yes. Keep your head up no matter what. Keep your heart strong no matter what. Don't let nobody make you lose your dignity no matter what. And be the same person all the time. I know it's hard to do that, but be strong in everything you do. Cause I'm a living proof.
I agree with everything that you said. And so for those out there that are listening today on the author podcast, the author spotlight podcast, we just encourage you to go out and get Ella Jackson's book called The Heart of Dignity. It's a short read, but it's a valuable read. I'm sure you can hear from the comments that our author has shared with us about the value of the book. So I just want to invite you to go over to Amazon and grab that book. It's to support Ella and her mission. And I just wanted to say thank you, Ella, for coming. And we've enjoyed having you. And I want to thank our sponsor, yourauthorhub.com, for helping make this
Thank you.
podcast happen. You're welcome, Ella. And so again, go out and get the book, The Heart of Dignity, at Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or Hobby Lobby. Pick that book up and hear from someone who's walked through trials and tribulations, and be motivated, just like she said, that you're going to make it too. And we want to thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on the Author Spotlight. Have a fabulous day.